Thank you. This is the Center for Research in Igbo History and Culture. Today is Wednesday, the 9th of June 2021. And I have with me here at Eri House some friends who have called. They're actually friends of somebody that is very close to the work here, one of the founding fathers of the Center for Research in Igbo History and Culture, in the person of Honorable Julius Udehwe. So Julius, you are welcome, and your friends, please do. Please, could you do the honors for us and let us meet your friends?
Thank you very much. I have wonderful friends here, and as the inscription on our caps, indicate people's power, people of God in people's power are here, and we have our convener. The founder is, goes with this appellation or nomenclature, convener. So I'll be introducing him or asking him to talk, so that from there we know the people who are here. Wonderful people, I must tell you. So, gentlemen and ladies out there, let us meet the man we know simply as Ezeakwueche. He is engineer Emeka, Emeka Okoli. He is the convener. The next voice you shall hear shall be his. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Emeka Ezeakwueche. That's interesting. Is there some history behind that name, sir? Ezeakwueche.
Definitely some.
I think I'll play. This is the Center for Research in Igbo History and Culture, and I think there's a lot of history behind that name. Will you help us?
Yes, why not? In summary, in Igbo land, titles and what we call cultural nomenclatures, are usually given by either traditional rulers or some organizations, one way or the other. But this particular name came off heaven. It was given to a man of God who went to inquire when he got a message for me from God concerning what you see us do today, and he went on what I would call prayer of inquiry, and he was in the process of that prayer that he asked, according to him specifically, who is this man that he is getting this revelation about, and he was given to him that this man is called Ezeakwueche.
Ezeakwueche.
And when he shared that part of the revelation with me, my spirit quickly picked on that name, because as at that point in time, I was actually seeking for a title. I was looking at something like Akumetibuilo, but when I heard Ezeakwueche from him, I threw that one into the trash and picked Ezeakwueche.
Because the whole world is groaning, waiting for the manifestation of the sons of God.
Hallelujah.
So they have come in.
Exactly.
That's very good. That's very good. So you are welcome, Mr. Emeka Okoli, Ezeakwueche. Your organization is People's Power. People's Power. That evokes thoughts in me as if, is it a political party?
Not a political party, but a socio-political organization. Actually, socio-political, socio-economic
Organization. Could you tell us a little more about that? Let's.
Okay.
Because you are bringing terms together that are not very clear in my mind. Socio-political, social-cum, and I'm a layman, so maybe.
Okay. By way of, expatiating further, socio-political in the sense that we seek for social change in our communities and then society at large, looking for or seeking for political instrument by way of the democratic cultures and provisions that throws up government and governance. So we look for opportunities in government where we can actually contribute in changing those things that we see that are anomalies in our society today. That's talking about socio-political. Now, socio-economic, we are involved in empowerment. That's to say, we have a mission statement that says we are for youth and women empowerment. So, socio-economic, because we equally run empowerment programs. In a nutshell, I can leave it at that.
Okay. So you run empowerment programs, seeking to empower, like you said, youths and young people and women and things like that. So you have a plan, you have a package for them in your program.
Yes.
And then the other is political empowerment also.
Exactly.
Political empowerment.
Exactly.
Can you, let's lean a little to the political side for now. What exactly is your intention in that regard?
Okay, we are into the business of creating the platform for genuine change, genuine positive change. What I mean by that is like we have a lot of issues today in our country that is a problem. For instance, when you come around the communities, the rural communities, you see that the level of economic activity is next to nothing. And this is traceable because we've looked at it critically and we discovered that you can trace this to government not being at the doorstep of the common man. I mean, local government elections, you and I know what it is today in our country. So we, for instance, want to create a platform where people who want to come and run for elective positions should be able to be accountable to the people. So what do we mean? We have one of our objectives is to have memorandum of understanding, what we call social contract, between us and whoever intends to get our support. Let's say, for example, in the next election in Anambra State, we've been moving around the state, mobilizing and galvanizing support. We don't know the direction to go yet with this mobilization, but at the end of all the party primaries, we will look at the candidates that would have emerged, and then we will know who will yield to our own demands. We want to be able to create that platform that will bring support to that candidate that will, for example, like I just said a while ago, conduct local government election, let's say between 3 months to 6 months on assumption of office. Because with local government elections, we can return life back to the communities. I mean, when you consider the fact that the budget for local government does not get to destination.
Does not get to the local government.
It doesn't get to the local government coffers. Due to this system of transition, chairmanship, and what have we. So we are of the opinion that we should create this platform where we'll be able to interact with whoever is seeking for elective office, and we'll be able to give them what we think the people need, because we are interacting with the people, mobilizing with the people, hearing from the people directly, and articulating the needs of the people. so we will be able to channel these needs properly. So, simply put, People's Power is an organization that is, if I would say, non-party platform based. That is to say, we welcome everyone from every political party. We are not in any particular political party. And our purpose is to create the platform that will hold those that will occupy elective position accountable to the people.
Thank you. Really, you have used a term that has really caught my imagination. You talk about social contract. Is that what you call it?
Yes.
What you call it? Social contract.
Yes.
That is very, for me, it's very seductive. What exactly do you mean by what does it entail?
Okay, what it entails is, let's put it this way: People's Power as an organization is acting like an intermediary vehicle. It's acting like a middleman in a layman's language. Now, we are in the business of mobilizing the people right now. We are talking to the people, we are moving from community to community. Like in Anambra State, we are currently touring the 181 communities that you have in Anambra State, the 326 wards that you have in Anambra State, the 21 local governments that you have in Anambra State. Now we are mobilizing people of like minds. A lot of people are tired of what we call the normal politics. Now we are preaching that the time has come for a paradigm shift. Now, what is this paradigm shift? We should put an end to a situation where the candidate or the aspirant will be the one calling the people, telling them what he's going to do for them, even without consulting with the people. So we've put ourselves together as a platform that goes to the people, we find out what the needs of the people are. Then, when the hour comes, we will reach out to the candidates, not aspirants, because we don't have business with the aspirants until your aspiration turns into candidature.
Yes.
We don't have business with you. But once you become a candidate of a viable political platform, then we will summon you. I use the word summon deliberately because these are now the people summoning those who are clamoring to represent them. So if you think that the people are the ones that will put you in office, you will honor their summon. But if you think that you have your other means of getting into the office, then you don't have any business with that summon. So simply put, social contract is an understanding, memorandum of understanding, I will put it, agreement between the candidate and the people as to what the people really need. I can quickly give you an example of what I'm talking about. I just mentioned local government election short while ago. I mean, there's no one today in any community in Nigeria that would not want executive powers for the local government chairman of whatever local government that he comes from, except those who are already in control of these political powers, who want to make sure that they have all the resources that is meant for the people. I mean, what I would call our common patrimony.
Invested
they
in
rather
down to corner those things.
Accumulate it to themselves.
Yes.
And they will just find a way to give us the peanuts, as the case may be. Keep them poor so that you can keep them loyal to you. So our social contract, for instance, is that if you want to be the governor of Anambra State, for instance, we discovered in the course of interaction with the people, in a place like Anambra West local government, there is a community called Engr and Okoli. There's a road that can actually take you to Abuja in less than 4 hours. Let's say between 3 hours and 4 hours. So we were shocked to have discovered that this road is already in existence, but it's just that it should be upgraded and made, motorable enough for people to use it as access. So, but why is that road not made? Why do if I'm traveling from Agulere to Abuja, why do I need to go around and go to Asaba? And then all the bad roads through Kogi and what have you, Okene and all that. Why do I need to go to Nsuka, Opi Junction? And then I will still begin to go to Kogi and all of that. Why can't I simply get to Anambra West and just make my way straight to Abuja? So we want a governor who will do that road. So in our social contract, item number 3, this particular road specified, number of kilometers specified. And when that road is made, the first thing that happens is that the value of all the landed properties around that area will show up, because you're going to have filling stations coming up, you're going to have shops coming up, travelers on that road. And you know that these areas we're talking about are all agrarian communities. And then their produce from their farms, they will have easy outlets, because the movement on that road alone is going to create massive market that will open up the economic activity on that side of the state. So that's an example of what we mean by social contract. I can quickly give you another one.
Please.
Can I go on?
Please, do that.
You can look at what we go through today. We have our young women, young ladies out there going into prostitution just because they want to get educated. Why? We have money in this state, because if, for instance, God bless His Excellency Governor Willie Obiano, who in his wisdom has brought us an international cargo airport.
Yes.
And I quote him, he said that Anambra did not borrow a dime from any man or from any financial institution to build that airport. And that is the second best airport in the whole of Africa, if I think I had it right.
Yes.
So if Anambra is rich enough to do that, Anambra should be rich enough to create bursary system for our teeming youths who are going to tertiary institutions. And what do I mean by that? If it will cost 10,000 naira to train one student, why don't we decide that the government should be able to at least subsidize this cost, maybe by 50% or even more, so the parents can be able to bear the remaining burden. And why can't we make education at primary and secondary level truly free, so that the poorest of the poor can have access to education and leave the streets where they are all working? Or a situation where you have people, instead of going to school, they are now going to become apprentices. So these are what we mean by social contract. So we have these things articulated such that we are looking for that man who is willing. For example, again, I can quickly give you this one, where you have cooperative groups scattered all over the state, but government is not really recognizing them and giving them that backing that they require. Like all these agrarian communities and all that, if they are actually brought together and supported, funding and what have you. Government may not really be the one giving them the funds, but government can guarantee certain funds that they will use to improve and increase their productivity. For instance, today you know that molding in yam farming is no longer in vogue. What you have now that is in vogue is ridging.
Yes.
And the difference is that when you do molding, you get bigger tubes.
Yes.
But when you do ridging, you get multiple tubes.
You get more tubes. Yes.
So you get more tubes.
Yes.
So why can't we have a system where the government is looking in this direction? Because whether we like it or not, today agriculture is number one all over the world in creating wealth. So that's what we mean by memorandum of understanding.
That's really interesting, the concept of social contract and what you are doing. So you've been the Center for Research in Igbo History and Culture, and we've been talking with People's Power. With People's Power, a socio-economic and socio-political organization. I can see it's of very young people, very young people. It tells me there's something very good ahead for Nigeria. When young people like this begin to take up initiatives like this, you have time. You have time to grow it. You can exert patience. So we are going to take a break. We are going to take a short break, and then we'll come back and look at one or two other aspects of this. Thank you. So you might like to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you'll be able to follow the rest of these discussions and other videos on activities, programs, and projects relating to Igbo history and culture. Thank you for being with us. Just join us in the next section of it. Thank you very much.